There's a bunch of hidden features that EA didn't really promote or explain at all with the release of Madden 27, and not only are they cool, they can actually help you win a lot more games. And these are things that the average player would never know about because they're not really highlighted and they're kind of hard to find if you don't know where to look. Like this right here, check this out. We're under center in single back, and when I go to hike the ball, everybody shifts. And now we're in a spread out 5 wide, which is completely different and much harder to defend. And not only do we not have to audible, we're ready to go and we can tear the defense apart. This first hidden feature is called formation shifting, so check it out. Let's say that I run trips tight end a lot. This is my main formation. I'm running the ball, I'm passing the ball, my opponent's having some trouble, but then I want to switch it up. Maybe I want to run the ball, but I don't want to give it away. Well, let's go over here to pistol now. I can go to pistol bunch tight end, which is a great formation for running pistol, has great runs. Let's say I want to run this halfback dive. Well, what I can first do is I can flick the right stick. If you notice here in the bottom right, I'm flicking the right stick, and look how it says shift, and there's a bunch of different formations as I scroll through. Any formation that has the same personnel, I can shift out of. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set it to gun trips tight end because that's the formation I had been running in this fictional example. And then I call the halfback dive. Now you can see here on the field, I am in the trips tight end, but when we go to hike the ball, we're going to shift now into the formation that we actually picked, into the play that we actually picked. And now, well, we're running the ball out of a pistol set when they were expecting us to stay in trips tight end. And you can really use this to take your schemes to the next level. Let's check out this formation, the Y off trips. Now this is a great passing formation, but they've got a really good play with the RPO read Y flat. This is a really good formation. Let's say we're hitting them with a lot of passes. We're hitting them periodically with this RPO read Y flat, which is really, really good if you don't know how to defend it. Well, I can also go to the trips tight end, which we talked about, another formation, let's say we were using, and this has an RPO alert bubble. Now I can go set up my shift with the right stick here. You can see in the bottom right, and I'm going to set it to the Y off trips formation that we've been running, and we've been hitting the RPO to the other side of the field. Now again, here we're in the formation. Look how the play looks weird though, because it's showing the play that we're actually going to shift into. So when we go to snap the ball, now we're shifting into a play that has an RPO on the other side of the field. So now they got to worry about defending an RPO on both sides of the field at any given time, plus any other pass plays we may have. Now another very important note here, let's say you decide you don't want to shift into the play. You see something with the defense you don't like, just audible out of it. So press the X button or square button, and then just audible to a different play in the formation that you're in, and then you'll see now you'll just run that play. You won't actually shift into the play that you were planning to shift into previously. Now this second hidden feature is something that EA literally did not talk about at all, and it's actually one of the best things you can do on offense to help you pick up yards. It's called the chip and release feature. So let's say I'm going to put my running back on a streak out of the backfield. Now this is just a good tactic in general with a play like this against zone coverage, because a lot of these other routes kind of clear out the zones and it allows you to hit your running back for some easy yards. But sometimes players will start to user that or key in on it. So something you can do is you can actually put him on a chip and release, and you can do this with any of his routes. So once you have him on the route you want, you're then going to hot route him once again by pressing Y or triangle, selecting his icon, and then on Xbox you hit the X button. On PlayStation you hit square. You can see it says chip and release. Now it turns his route into this purple/blue kind of route, which is going to delay him. He's going to stay in the block and release just a little step later, but that little step is all the difference. Because if you're going against zone defense, it further allows just an extra step for them to drift even further out of the way for you to open this up for some big gains. And a user defender would see that he's blocking and not pay attention to him. But the other good thing about this is if they bring extra pressure, if they blitz, he'll actually stay in to try to pick it up, so it's a win-win. But let's say I wanted to send him to the flat, for example. I can delay that as well. He'll stay in for a second. You could see looking for work. He kind of got caught up a little bit there, but then he'll release into the flat. You could do this with a Texas route. I mean, literally any route you want, an in route. He'll look for work, see if there's anybody to block. If not, he's going out into a route and he's easy money. You can also do this with the tight end as well. So I'm going to go ahead, put him on a chip and release, and now his corner route is a chip and release. Now I don't necessarily recommend doing it with that route, but you can. Literally any route he's on, you could do this with. So let's say I wanted to just put him on a drag, for example. I can chip and release him, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to chip this edge rusher right there, which also could help. Even if they're not blitzing, that helps hold up the pass rush just a little bit. So no matter what route you have these guys on, if you want to have that little bit of a delay, you want them to block, you want them to help out, and then release into their route, definitely take advantage of this feature. Hey, really quickly, if you're still here and you're getting value out of this video, I'm just going to ask that you subscribe, turn the bell icon on. That way you're up to date with all of the best Madden news and tips all year long. Because I make videos like this all the time and you could be missing out on some really important information. This next hidden feature is huge in the run game, and if you don't know about this, you're missing out big time. You can now ID the mic and untarget defenders in the run game. And I know some people thought you could do this in previous years, but it was really more of a placebo. Now, why would you want to use this in the run? Well, because it can really help spring you for bigger runs. So let's talk about ID the mic first. Now, to ID the mic in the run game, you're going to hold down the left trigger or L2 button. You're then going to hit the A button on Xbox or the X button on PlayStation. And then you'll get this little M icon that you can move around with the left stick. Now, if I'm running to the right outside here, I might want to ID this further outside cornerback defender here because I want to just help get a seal on the edge. Then I'm going to press the A button on Xbox or the X button on PlayStation to select him. Now, this doesn't mean that he's going to just get taken out of the play completely, but it gives a little bit more focus on him to help seal the edge for us. And I mean, they didn't do great blocking there, but we see that they focused on him. If I'm running more up the middle, maybe I want to ID the guy into the hole that I'm running to. So if I know I'm running kind of to this right gap right here, I'm going to ID him and just put a little bit more focus on my fullback to make sure he picks him up, and he does, and you can see that springs us for a massive run. So if you're doing an outside run, make sure that you are IDing the mic on an outside guy to the side you're going to. If you're doing an inside run, make sure you're IDing a guy that is to the gap that you're trying to run to. Again, you can see he's taken out of the play, and look at that, another big run. Now, if you really want to take your Madden game to the next level and learn from the best, I've partnered with Civil.gg. If you're tired of losing to random nonsense online, losing franchise games, or even just games against your friends, this is the place you need to be. In the last 2 years, 96% of members say they've won way more games simply by joining. And inside, you'll get the exact schemes, full offensive and defensive guides that the best players run. Use code ERIC for 30% off. Link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Now, the next part of this is the Untarget defender. So we're going to hit the left trigger or L2 button once again. This time we're going to press Y or triangle depending on our system, and we have this flame icon. We can untarget a defender with this. Now, typically you would use this when you're going against another human, because if you're passing the ball and they're trying to glitch out your D line, you can untarget their user, which tells your O-line and your players not to even worry about him. Basically, when someone's trying to fake blitz with their user, you're telling your team, don't worry about that guy, worry about the other threats. But in the run game, you can now use this too. So if I know I'm running up the middle, maybe I untarget this guy all the way out here, then select him with A or X, because he's likely not going to make a play on this anyway. So I would rather my wide receiver over here to the right, Williams, don't look at him at all. Make sure you look at somebody else. And then again, you can still ID the mic on one of these guys, right? So you're focusing your attention to the defenders that you feel matter more and away from the ones that don't. And again, we get another good run. This next hidden feature went way under the radar this year, and I'm almost positive that pretty much nobody knows about it. The feature is called Play Call Substitutions, which means you can change your depth chart from the play call screen. And this isn't what you think. It's not just pressing Y or triangle like we could do in the past and just subbing a particular player out in a formation and he would stay there. This is different. So let's just say I don't want ETN on the field at all for whatever reason. Maybe he's playing bad, maybe his wear and tear is messed up, maybe I just always love using Kamara and I forgot to change the depth chart before the game. Well, I can go into a formation, for example. I can hold down the right trigger or the R2 button. You have to hold it down the entire time and then just select one of the plays. It doesn't matter what play it is. And then you can see your team pops up and you can scroll around here with the stick. So I'm going to go to ETN and I'm going to sub Kamara here. Now when I come out in that formation, Kamara is going to be in the backfield. But look, if I scroll through every formation now Kamara is the running back. You can see that ETN isn't anywhere because I've effectively changed my depth chart. This next hidden feature has to do with coverage adjustments. Now, I think most of you probably know about the new aggressive and conservative adjustments that we can do. I mean, I've talked about it a bunch. So basically, if you hit the left trigger or L2 button, you could see there's now this new box on the right that says zone strategy. So you can do conservative, ultra conservative, aggressive, or ultra aggressive. I think most of y'all know that. But one thing that I really like doing a lot of times is going aggressive or even ultra aggressive against people that want to throw short. So I'm going to do that here on this play, and you'll notice that everybody underneath is going to play short, but even the deep zones will be more aggressive as well. And you can see that we're there kind of clamping down. We limited it to about 2.5 yards. But what if you don't want every single person to be on aggressive? So For example here, I'm going to go and put everybody on aggressive now. Again, so we're all playing underneath. But what if I want this purple zone right here to not be aggressive? Because in this play, there is a corner route. Let's say I know that, and I want him to get some extra help back here defending that corner. So I don't want him to be aggressive, but I want everybody else to be. Because if this deep zone's on aggressive, he'll actually do a good job at kind of playing that corner route as well, because he'll be looking to bite down a little bit more. But if I can get some extra help back there, that means I can eliminate the biggest threat on the play for a big gain, and everybody else can play more underneath to stop the short stuff. Well, I've got the whole defense on aggressive. But if I go over to this guy in this curl flat, for example, I can press the A button on Xbox or the X button on PlayStation, and you can actually set his own coverage adjustment individually. So I hit that button, it brings up all these options. I'm going to actually go ultra conservative on him, which is left on the D-pad. So now just this guy's on ultra conservative, everybody else is on aggressive. So now we're taking away underneath. Just like this, I can help out in user as well. You can see everything's locked up. I mean, Kyler Murray's going crazy there on us, but everything was locked up. So what this allows us to do is just get more creative on defense. We can set the whole defense to aggressive and then select any individual person and say, no, we want you to play a little bit differently than everybody else because we think we know what our opponent's going to do. And this allows us to take away multiple things at one time. But most people don't even know that you can actually set this individually. And as you notice here on the replay, he's dropping very far back. Look, we have this corner route completely bracketed, which is what we want. Now, of course, we are leaving a flat open here because we took him out of his aggressive assignment, but that's okay. Let's just say we're not worried about that flat. We're worried about taking away the corner and the drags because that's what people are looking to throw. And you can see with the help of my user here, we've got this drag taken care of. We've got this drag taken care of. This flat's taken care of because everybody's in aggressive. So we left one thing open over here, but we did that strategically. Now these things alone will help you win a lot more games, but these other tips I posted recently are even better than this. So make sure to check out that video right here on the screen.